What's up, y'all? It's Chris, arch-usa.com, and this is my report on Sneaker of the Year. It's not going to be anything like what you've seen on other websites and other lists, primarily because I'm basing this on the importance of the shoe. If you look at this box, and you can see all of the different stickers on it, regenerative sneakers inside, 100% plant-based. What you get is a discussion on the importance of the method of make of sneakers. So as much as I love the Jordans and things that you see on the walls around here, and then I have my own sneakers that I used to design over there in the corner, it's extremely important that we begin to shape the discussion on the sneaker industry around how the end of life is taken into consideration by the companies who make these shoes. And this is from the brand Unless. You see it right here, Unless, and it says plants inside. So I want to first thank the company, Natural Fiber Welding and Unless Collective, for hooking me up with a pair of the shoes. I opened the box, but I haven't been able to open it up and look inside completely and see what I have here. I know it's either the white pair or the black pair, but you're going to get to see in real time exactly what I'm seeing, other than the fact that I've opened it up and I've looked at what's in the box, and it's a really cool inside of the box thing. I can't even come up with the correct words to say about that, but let's get to that aspect of it and show you the inside of the box. Now I'm coming in at an angle here because I want you to get the full kind of scope of what's happening. And I'm going to open this up, and I know I have to put my finger on the inside of this because as I pull it up, you get that picture. Regenerative sneakers inside. It's good to be a degenerate, and that's the name of the shoe, is the Degenerate. So it's Unless, 100% plant-based, and as you see here, Chris, we hope you love the smell. This thing smells incredible. It smells incredible. All right, so like I said, this is my first time opening it up, and this is the paper from on the inside. And it tells me about the Degenerate, the shoe itself. And it says it's good to be a degenerate, made from plants and minerals. Now, I know the breakdown of the shoe and how natural fiber welding has made an incredible effort to create materials that can be placed back into the soil without harming the environment. That's an extremely difficult task. The team over there accomplished it. And this is what could be considered the impossible shoe. It's a shoe that doesn't use any glues. The traditional way that sneakers are made, it's not made in the same way. And I got this little note from the founders, Tara and Eric, and it says, shout with any questions, ideas, or feedback. And I'm definitely going to give my ideas and feedback, but there's not a lot I can add when you've made this thing out of Claris, Tunera, Pliant, the rubber, tinsel thread for the stitching. The laces are 100% linen with cotton embroidered lace tips. And I know you're like, dude, get to the shoe. Miriam and Claris. It's an incredible shoe. And this is what's wild. The paper is embedded with wildflower seeds. Plant it and watch it grow. So they've sent these papers that I can actually take to my house and put in and watch this paper take on a different life. And that's incredible packing materials. On the inside, and I don't know if you can see that, I'm holding it so you can. You see the two plants there. Those are air plants, and they love being placed in the bathroom or kitchen window, indirect light, and the steam, moisture will keep them happy. So I don't even have to sit down and really water these things, but I am definitely going to move forward in this process and put the flowers in the house. And you can see underneath the way that looks. And that's just really cool. Really cool stuff. All right, so and now yours are probably not going to come this way because this was a gift from the company, from Natural Fiber Welding and from Unless. It is a little bit different. So I can't say that you're going to get the same thing. Now I can go into what I typically do is to say, I have the white gum color, which is hilarious because I'm wearing a shoe that looks exactly like it probably. It's made in Italy. We get the UPC code, but I think what we came to see is how these look. So let's get this thing open and go from here. And I may have to cut this. This thing is hard to open. All right, so we have the box open, and it looks exactly like the shoe that I have on. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It smells like the plant. It smells like the plant. All right, so you can see the paper. I want to get these on foot to make sure they fit. But the Unless logo paper, I'm opening this up because it has a sticker that shows the size as opposed to you having it printed on the inside. And I'm a size 13, so they got my size right, which is awesome. But here's the material. This feels like leather. It's a little stickier. And it has some grains in it, some fibers that you can see. It almost looks like fibers, but... So this is the Claris material. The shoe reminds me of a clay model from back in the early 2000s. That's what it reminds me of. Let me pull this out to see what... Oh wow, the footbed, the insole, this is cork. This is cork. Now the lasting board. The lasting board feels like you're sitting directly on this foam. Now, because this is a new setup of plant, and I think the name of it is, let me see what the name of it is. I know y'all are like, dude, do you know everything? I don't know everything about this shoe, but it's Tunera, natural foam rubber. So the foam, this rubber can be ground up too. So the entire shoe can be recycled. And you have the logo here, Unless, and NFW. The color is not going to be consistent on all of these because it's a very different shoe. You can squeeze it. Now, a lot of the times people will talk about how Jordans, when they're knockoffs, you can squeeze it. Well, this shoe doesn't have the structure that's the same as a traditional shoe. And that's because they've made sure to make it as eco-friendly as possible. And that removes a lot of the different plastic and glues that stiffen a shoe that you'll get. So it is going to be a lot more flexible. I know somebody's like, dude, you're bending them. You haven't even tried them on yet. Yes, I am. Get over it. But this footbed, that's really interesting. This insole is great. Zero plastic waste, designed in Portland, Oregon, made in Italy, zero plastic. It's really nice. Somebody was looking at it and they were like, yo, it's ugly. How you gonna pick that as shoe of the year? And I'm like, one, it's not ugly. When I get ready to do my on foot, you guys are going to be like, oh, wow, it does look like the shoe that you have on. The shoe that I have on is from Handmade, which is another company that's taking care of the environment by moving the process of manufacturing to what's called nearshoring or reshoring. But this is not about Handmade. This is about the Degenerate. Let's get this thing on foot. Let's get it on foot. I want to see what it feels like. 1 second. All right, you guys, I don't know if you can see this. I know you can't see my face, but my face doesn't matter. It's about the shoes. So you see I have in my hand the Degenerate from Unless and Natural Fiber Welding. So let's get to this on foot and do it right now. I have my community maids on, and you can see that I wasn't kidding. These look exactly, not exactly. They look very closely related to what I have on, which is hilarious. And I designed these with Community made them. This is hemp, and this is a suede, and then this outsole is a Vibram non-slip outsole. So it's made in the same way. This can be sent back. Actually, they ripped over the top, and I was able to send them back, and they repaired them. This shoe, in much the same way, when it gets old and it's dirty and it's beat to death, you can take it, send it back, and they can literally grind this thing up and put it back in the soil. It's an incredible concept. And when I say sneaker of the year, I mean innovation is at the pinnacle of what I think is important about the sneaker industry. And I'm going to shut up and put the shoe on so you can see what it looks like on foot. 1 second. And oh, wow. Look at the tips. I'm going to move the camera up to get a little bit more of this. I'm also going to do a sideways video, a traditional video instead of a vertical video of these, because they do have to be tightened up a lot. They're very loose. Very loose, very loose. But I don't expect them to be extremely kind of grippy and tight, because it's going to take some work to put the laces through. I see that now because they don't have traditional plastic aglets. So 1 second and let me get these laces in. All right, so it took me a second to get the laces through. You have to go in and over through the hole as opposed to trying to go under like that. I still have the stickers sticking in here, and my socks are just shedding all over it. These are not the best socks. I probably should have worn better socks. But I am going to get this one tied up finally and see how it feels when I stand up. That's what I'm waiting on, is to give you a look at how they feel standing up. And they are wide. They're very wide. I don't have wide feet. So the shape of them, it's flat. You're going to have to pull them tight and cinch them up for them to fit really well. There's not a lot of structure to it at all, so you can't feel any support under it, but that's not the point. They're building this as a casual shoe. It's an intriguing looking model. Of course, you see how chunky the outsole looks, but the outsole and the midsole combination, it's really a cup sole, so your foot sits down on the inside of it. But I'm definitely going to have to tighten these up. I like the way they look on my foot. I'm not sure if you guys can see them, and I don't have the right one tied as much, but it's super loose. So if you're a person with a wide foot, you're going to fall in love with these, and it is super soft. It's ridiculously soft. Definitely needs to be tightened up though, so let's tighten it up again. All right, I got that one tied up a little bit more so you can see the shape of it. You can tell, whether you like it or not, but it is an extremely loose shoe. As a matter of fact, giving it a look from the toe down, I'm going to wiggle my foot side to side in there, and you can see how much wiggle room there is on the inside of it. So as this wears, if this mirror doesn't kind of restrict the shape of the shoe from shifting, like a leather does, which a leather gives a little bit, then I can see this becoming so loose that people wouldn't want to wear it anymore. But considering how people like to tie their shoes and basically wear them loose anyway, I can see as a lounge shoe, definitely. But there is a ridiculous amount of room on the inside of the shoe, and your foot moves around considerably. So there are some details that they're going to have to tighten up on this model, which includes the fact that it's entirely too loose. And I'm going to have to give these shoestrings a nice pull. But the good thing about it is the shoestrings are really strong shoestrings. So I can actually tighten it up and it won't hurt it so bad. It's going to bunch the tongue when I do so. But they're super loose. Man, they are comfortable. I can't front. Let me talk about these in this vertical video. And I'm doing a second video that's just a regular kind of widescreen video too. So that'll be just a conversation. 1 second. All right, you guys. So trying the shoes on, seeing what they feel like, they're considerably wider. And once again, I know somebody's like, dude, that's a huge shoe. I wear a size 13. So it is a big shoe. This is my community made shoe. It's a custom shoe that I had created with the company. This is the Degenerate from Unless. It's their first foray into the sneaker industry. It's a shoe it's made from materials that can be broken down and reused, and it doesn't have any toxic elements built into the shoe. So when you look at it and you go through the list of the different components that are in the shoe, it's basically a miracle shoe. It's the impossible shoe. It really is. And it smells amazing. But and I have to put the butt in there. If you look at the width, and I'm using both of my left shoes here. If you look at the width at the top of this shoe versus the top of this shoe has a lot of room in it. This shoe has a ridiculous amount of room. You could probably go down, not from the front, you could probably go down a half a size. You could go down a half a size because there is so much wiggle room in it, because the shoe doesn't have plastics and things like that keeping the structure of the shape really sturdy. So whereas, like, this one has a toe counter, heel counter, this shoe does not have a toe counter or a heel counter. So it's a lot looser, but the design of it is really nice. The feel of it is incredible. It feels like a slipper. It feels like a really sticky slipper. Now, I'm going to wear it for a minute just to see how it shapes up, how it functions as a product. I'm going to wear it because you really can't give something a true kind of, any true feedback without putting it on, right? And I'm holding the wrong shoe. So let me put that Community Made down and go back to this one. You have that nice branding on the side. You do have the Unless logo here on the tongue. You have Unless times NFW underneath. You also have the Unless times NFW at the back. So it's branded really well. Definitely probably could have stood for a 12 and a half. Could have stood for a 12 and a half because it's really a wide shoe. So if you have a wide foot, you're great in your size. Great in your size. If you have a narrow foot, like I have a narrow foot, I do have a really, although I'm a big guy, my feet are not real wide. Like, I could stand to go down a half a size. And you're going to have to tie it up tight. And the thing that I was talking about in regard to the shoestrings is lacing the shoestrings. When you go in and over, it's difficult to do so because the laces, let me see what it says about the lace. Embroidered lace tip. So it's embroidered because there's no plastic on the tip of it. When you go through the top of it, it's difficult. So let me see how quickly I can get this through and give you guys an idea of what I'm saying here. So when I go through the top of this, that embroidery is sturdy enough to go through it. But that's how long it takes for me to get that through. And I know that does not look problematic at all, but in this world, people will complain about anything. So it's not it doesn't take a super long time. We'll do this other one just so you can see it. Doesn't take a super long time at all. This lace tip is actually a little bit more sturdy than this one, so it was much faster with the other lace tip. But I can see these wearing down over time and getting too loose for you to get them through, which, if it gets super dirty, then you're probably going to want to change out the laces, and maybe they'll make more laces available. I do really like this embroidered lace aglet, which isn't an aglet, it's just an embroidered shoestring tip. So I guess you can't really call it the aglet because it's not made out of plastic or any type. And I do want to read about this insole. Where is this thing? The inlay sole, coconut husk, natural latex cotton. I'm going to take that out so you can see it again. It's a little bit of bounce to this thing too. It's not bad at all. A little bit of bounce to it. It's pretty wild. All right, let me just put that back in. I'm going to get ready to wrap this one up. It's a vertical video. I'm going to do another video that's wide so I can talk about it in greater detail since I did an on foot with this. And I'm going to chop this up so it won't be so long. But go down half a size. That's what I'll say. Go down half a size and you should be fine because there's just a lot of room in the shoe because there's not a lot of structure. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate you for watching. Big shout out to Unless and Natural Fiber Welding for making what is, in my opinion, the shoe of the year. And it does look like my clay, and it also looks like my my Community Made. So it's not an ugly shoe. Somebody said it was ugly. It's not. It's not. But it is super intriguing, man. And I love how rugged this looks, even though it's not. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.